Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Hashtag Actors Life. This is the show all for and about the hustle and bustle lives of actors. Here we discuss the film and television business through personal experiences of industry professionals. On tonight's show, we will feature an interview with up-and-coming director Bobby Ashley as he discusses his current web series, The Av. Then we'll have a roundtable discussion from two working artists who will discuss the struggles of finding managers and or agents. And then later we'll have a special performance from a truly talented actor in our Limelight segment. And it all goes down right here, right now on Hashtag Actors Life. Don't go nowhere. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the premiere episode of Hashtag Actors Life. I am your host, Shamaria. And before we get to our guest of honor, I'd like to take a moment to discuss passion projects. Now, what is a passion project? Well, a passion project, by Shamaria's dictionary, is any project that you participate in without the formal exchange of currency. In other words, free work. Now, we've all done it, and if you haven't, you will, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure it has good cinematic quality, it has good sound, and it showcases your range as an actor. Remember, you always want to present yourself as a professional. So when you submit this footage to management or for castings, you want to be taken seriously. Now, how does one go about finding a good passion project? Ask questions. Ask the director what kind of camera they're using or what are their plans for the project. Do they plan on submitting them to film festivals? Will there be screenings? And also pay attention to the director's professionalism. If the director is in constant contact with you, constant communication, and the director seems to be taking the project seriously, 9 times out of 10, they will produce a quality project. Now remember, like the old saying goes, all money ain't good money. All passion projects aren't good projects. And although you may not be receiving a check for it, you do want to receive something of value out of the deal, whether it be footage for your reel or IMDb credit, or simply building relationships that may get you work in future projects. I mean, if you ever find yourself aboard a passion project that makes you cringe or you don't want to have your name attached to the project, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, there is a difference between working for free and working for nothing. Now, our guest of honor is an up-and-coming director whose current web series, The Av, is garnering him much acclaim on the indie scene, and here's why.
The uppercase F, uppercase O, uppercase E, R.I.P. Most sinister beats. Whole team go eat. Common sense ain't as common as you would think. People be grimy like the bottom of the kitchen sink. Loyalty is just a phrase. Loyalty is just a phrase.
Here live right now, ladies and gentlemen, in the studio is writer, producer Bobby Ashley.
Hello, everyone. Hey. How y'all doing?
Thank you so much for being on the show.
No problem. Anything for you, Shannon.
Now, The Av, as we just saw a sneak peek of the show. Tell us about this wonderful web series that you have so eloquently created.
That crazy show of mine. Okay. Well, you know, it all started with me. I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn. So I wanted to write my reality. So, you know, it was from that point where I felt like I wasn't seeing too much of my reality being brought to the television screen. So I said, well, listen, I don't got no contacts on Netflix or HBO. Let me go my own route and create a web series online that folks can definitely generate, you know, more views for me, but get people talking about it and say, ooh, you bringing that reality, you know, into the entertainment, you know, lane. So I was like, okay, good job doing that.
Awesome. Now, at the top of the show, I spoke about passion projects.
Yes.
And I understand the AV series was a passion project for you.
Yes.
Working on a passion project, as opposed to working on, I'll say, maybe like a project produced by like a big
Warner
production
Brothers,
company. Yeah.
Lionsgate, Focus Films.
How
yeah.
is that different for you?
Oh, right. Well, first off, it was difficult because number one, I just went into this project, you know, with the mentality of, okay, listen, I don't have a big budget, but I do have film friends. I do have resources that I can take and use and basically create something that a lot of people can't relate to. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna follow this quote Ava DuVernay said. She said, the only thing that moves you in this industry is your work.
Yes.
And I said, you know what, Ava, because you always hitting it. I said, I'm gonna do that. And that's what I did with this show. So it was hard, you know, but at the end of the day, you have to go through obstacles so that you can better yourself as an artist. Because I follow this other quote, you grow as you go.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm growing as I'm going.
Nice. What were some of the learning lessons that you got from, from this project?
I need to get a list. Where my list at? Anyway, just kidding. Just need a list. No, I already wrote a list. No, forget a list. I need a book. But anyway, no. One of the don't hire family members. You know, I'm keeping it all the way real. Don't hire family members who really don't have the passion for the project like you do. You know, I had a couple of folks on this project in the beginning stages who just wanted to control it. Well, another obstacle, of course, availability, you know, trying to find a DP last minute. Once the DP dropped out, they had to find someone else. So it was so much, but my mother always told me this, you have to go through a lot in life so that God can lead you to a place where you can just look back and reflect on everything that you've been doing. It's like, wow, you know. So I followed that. It was just the passion, the quotes, and the positive energy that really kept me forward with this project. Because there's some moves I wanted to give up. I said no. If I would have given up on the app, I would have given up on a young person trying to do the same thing I'm doing. I wouldn't have passed the torch down. So yeah.
Right. So, you know, every director has their own style. Ava has her own style. Spike has his own style. What would you say your style, your directorial or creative style is?
My style is making sure the material is real. You know, making sure when someone watch it, my thing is that you have to know the backstory before you go into that room. You know, so I love to know the backstory of any project that I'm taking on. Like if I'm taking on a project that's based in Coney Island or, you know, based out of Brooklyn, based in Seattle, Washington, D.C., I would love to learn the backstory of it so that when I get into directing mode, I would know how the people interact with each other, what type of language do they use, what type of food do they eat, you know, what type of clothing do they wear. It's all about showing that realism so that when folks watch, they'll be like, wow, you executed the story in such a realistic way that I'm sitting back and saying, okay, he can do this.
So, from my understanding, your project has been compared already to, you know, other urban indie films. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, when people compare your work to that of someone else's?
When people compare myself to other material, thank you. Other successful material, thank you.
Yes.
Because that gives me the confidence, it gives me the energy to create more content and allow more actors like yourself and allow more writers, allow more directors to come on board and collaborate. Because it's all about collaboration. And the collaboration is not there, then when you're working together, teamwork, your project will not stand.
Right.
You have to have a blueprint before you step out there and say, I want to build that house.
Yes. Okay. I love that.
So.
Well, thank you so much, Bobby, for coming by the studio and talking with us and telling us so much about your wonderful projects.
Yes, my wonderful projects.
Yes. And we look forward to seeing more from you.
Yes.
Definitely.
This is the beginning for Bobby Ashley, B.O.B.
So to check out more of Bobby Ashley's The Av and other upcoming projects, you can go to youtube.com/Joe Entertainment TV.
Or it could be easier if you type in #pound the Av series together on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. It's going to take you straight to the page, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Thank you.
Good evening, actors. Welcome to the Access to Managers and Agents Speed Dating. You're all gonna have 3 minutes with these lovely talent representatives. Feel free to give them your resume and headshot and ask them any questions that you may have. Does anyone have a question before we begin? You, yes.
Say we don't get signed or anything, do we get our money back?
Good luck, the clock starts now.
Wow, who took your headshot?
It's Ron Bacasco. You like that?
No, it's awful.
Really? He's done photography. He's done headshots for Tom Hanks, Johnny Depp, Barack Obama.
The lighting is terrible. Look, you got shadows here and blotchy spots here. You got this going on. It's all wrong. No one's gonna book you off of these.
But I just got this done.
Look, go see my photographer. His name is Brian Willoughby. Tell him I referred you. He'll give you a good rate.
But I just got these done.
Next!
Yeah, so I've been staying really busy. I've been doing some equity theater work. Actually, one project away from becoming SAG.
Yeah, that's great.
Am I interrupting something?
Oh, no. Just replying to a client.
Next!
So what are you looking for in a client?
Money.
Wow. That was really forward.
Look, time is money and I don't have either one to waste right now. You have a great look and a great personality, but you're not what I'm looking for at this time.
Well, would you at least be...
Next!
Yeah, so I've been doing some equity theater, and I'm actually one project away from becoming
Yeah, that's great. Listen, cut your hair, lighten it up a little, and lose about 10 pounds. You get a lot more work.
Excuse me, lose 10 pounds.
Hey, and when you're ready for your new headshots, go see my guy, Brian Willoughby. Tell him I referred you. He'll give you a great rate.
I have no doubt you will book. I could see you playing all kinds of different roles. Cop, villain, the weirdo creep.
Okay. So does that mean that you want to sign me?
I have other conflicts.
Yes, it's you! You're the one I've been waiting for all this time. The posture, the poise. I want to sign you right away. There are so many roles you could play.
Really? I mean...
Yes. All you have to do is sign your life away. Sign your life. Sign your life. Sign your life. Sign your life. Sign your life.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our roundtable discussion segment. This is the segment of the show where we discuss the aspects of the business of acting through personal experiences. Tonight, my guests are Carlos Hendricks, who can be seen in the movie 730, and Carmia Berry, who can be seen in The Devil's Triangle. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Tonight's topic of discussion is representation, working with and without representation. So, first of all, guys, how did you find your representation? Both of you guys have agents, right?
I don't have an agent. I'm working with a manager.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Well, that's awesome. We give two different perspectives on how managers and agents work.
Yes.
First, let me start off with you, Carlos. How did you find your agent?
Well, I booked my agent through an acting film showcase at Weiss Barron Studios in Manhattan.
Nice. Okay, yeah. I know Weiss Barron.
Yeah.
I know it very well.
So, we did the showcase. We have agents that are in the audience. And I guess at the end of the showcase, if someone speak with you or contact you, you know that maybe you've done something good.
Right.
And they invite you in for an interview.
Okay.
And you take it from there. You can either you can freelance with them or you can sign. However it works. But initially, I started freelancing first.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, Carmia, how did you find your manager, right?
Yes, my manager. So for me, oh my goodness, I feel like my story is so much longer than just the years of. So this manager actually that I'm working with now has been around me for some time. She has observed me just do a lot of film festivals of projects that I was doing. She would come out to plays. You know, whenever I had something going on, like I would always shoot her an email along with everybody else out there that I was just looking for representation and inviting them. And so most recently, just through like, I'd say it took about 2 years of just, you know, constantly just showing her the work and that I was serious and, you know, hey, things are on my website, you know, take a look, you know, just letting her know that I'm working and I'm staying relevant. You know, currently going to this acting studio, you know, finally there was a discussion of, okay, Carmia, so now, you know, this is what I want to go with you. Throughout the years, I would say there was a lot of shaping, you know, just letting me know, you know, hair color and the way I'm, you know, wear certain things for the headshots. Right, exactly. So she was shaping me throughout the last 2 years. But, you know, it was like, well, when is the moment coming? Because I know, like, you're a manager. You're not ready to represent me just yet. And recently, yes, she was like, the time is now.
You know, it's interesting. You said it took some time.
Yeah.
It took me 3 years
you're lucky.
to get my manager. Like, and I mean, I've spoke with other actors, and they've said, you know, it's taking some time. For some people, you know, they'll get someone right off the bat, and for some people, it takes like longer than that. Like, how long did it take you to find yours?
God, I really started pursuing acting seriously in 2006. From then up until 3 years ago, I got my the agent.
Oh, wow,
so it took some time, you know, and it was hard work. It was hard work, because the showcase actually wasn't the first that I've done.
Yeah.
So what I felt was after the showcase, initially the showcase was for an agent to see you and possibly, you know, bring you in or something. But I just kept coming back, and I figured I wasn't good enough. Maybe that's why someone didn't pick you up. And my initial thought. So when I was finally picked up, I figured, oh, maybe I was good now. You know? So it's just putting in the work. Without judging yourself too much.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny you say that, because I remember when I very first started out, like just getting out there and auditioning, when I didn't get picked or, you know, selected for a role I didn't book, I took it personally, like it's something I'm not doing right, it's something wrong with me. But after a while, after learning and understanding how the business goes, I understand like that, you know, it's so many layers of the audition process that have nothing to do with you. Like, you know, I stopped taking it personally. Is that like something you guys have encountered? Is it, you know, just the constant auditioning, or?
Wow, not taking it personal. I think every time I walk into an audition room, because I walk in, I feel confident, you know, I'm like, okay, you know, I've been doing this for some time, you know, you're taking acting classes and just, you know, you study the craft and you feel good about it. You have the sides, whether you get it before or not, you know, you have your monologue that you've been working on and you feel really good about it. And then for me personally, like I'd walk into the room and I'm looking at all the beautiful people going, well, what makes me so different? And wow, it feels like everybody in New York is acting. Like everybody's in this room, you know? And so, you know, when you step in and you walk away and you don't get that call, it's like, it used to be for me taking it personal. Like, well, what didn't I bring? And then, you know, you'll recite the lines later on and you're like, I should have said it this way. And, you know, but, you know, after a while you realize that it's just, I mean, for me, I'm very, very deep in like, in my faith and belief. And I just walk away now more so just saying whatever's meant for me definitely is for me, so.
Now, I know I was once told by one of my acting coaches that agents, they get paid 10%, you know, commission. So they only do 10% of work. Managers, like they get like 15
or 20,
Yeah, 15 or 20. So that's the amount of work that they do. And the rest of it, you have to make up for yourself. So do you guys find that to be true, or like what's your thoughts on that?
Well, before I got I got the agent, I never really thought about it, like having an agent, because I'm around actors all the time and they're always talking about I need an agent, I need an agent. I never felt that I really needed an agent. I always felt like if an agent, I'm going to do my work and an agent is going to find me. And that's kind of like what happened, really. So if you go with that thought process of I need an agent, it's like, okay, you get an agent now what happens? Are you going to sit and wait for the agent to do your work?
Right.
You know, so it's basically when I started getting the help, which is the agent, which I call it the help.
Right.
So things were a little different. You know, I was doing my portion. I felt as if they were a little stagnant, I felt at first. But when I did get something, it was like major, and it kind of made up for the time I was waiting. You know, so I felt like, I don't know, I said maybe they're looking for something huge for me and nothing small. That's why I'm waiting around for something from them. But in the meantime, I'm submitting and booking stuff on my own, you know. So
that's what you got to do. You got to, even though you have representation, you still have to keep your own ear to the ground. That's interesting. You know, a lot of actors, like you said, they're like, I need an agent, I need an agent, I need an agent. And then they sit back. Like, once they do finally get one, sit back. And it's like, okay, well, you know, why isn't my agent submitting me? Or, you know what I mean? They're looking for the agent to do everything, to make their career. Right. And you got to remember, it's your career. Right. You know, so you have to kind of help them help you too.
Absolutely. And I believe it's like, it is really a mindset. And I'm like, the point that you're making as far as like, help me helping you.
Right.
So to speak, like, and so for me, I feel like the true benefit, I believe, in having an agent or manager is sometimes just getting those legit, like, big roles, like those TV network, those, you know, movie, like, big time roles. Other than that, I mean, and it's a major benefit, and I'm not at all bashing it because I'm still looking for an agent. However, I do believe that for those that it takes a little bit longer, you do appreciate the process. And so when you do finally get that agent or that manager, you still, you know, you're still hungry for it, and you're still working and submitting yourself because you knew how far you've actually gotten in the place that you are now and where you need to continue to go. So it's a nice partnership once you get it, but I think it's just a mindset that people shouldn't lose. And so if you start off being fortunate enough to come to New York or wherever you know, end up pursuing the passion and getting an agent or a manager right away, then I can see those people being like, okay, now you do your job for me, work for me.
Right.
Versus those that are like, okay, I'm just going to be hungry for it, I'm going to do it myself. But then when they finally do find that person, then it's more of a, okay, this is a partnership because I've been doing this long before you. Now I actually got to pay you a little bit, you know, and at the same time. So,
One last thing though, before we finish, what words of encouragement do you guys have for up and coming actors out there?
Don't give up. I do believe that if it's something that you really want to do, that it is on your heart, your mind to do so, go after it. I definitely think getting involved with acting courses, workshops is beneficial because I believe that even within the workshops, like you begin working with other actors, you know, that can strengthen your circle and can definitely, in times when you're feeling down and like this is not going to work out for me, not only do they encourage you and, you know, they're a big support, but again, like there's also projects that they may know about, and because they see that you're working, they see that you're talented, you know, they'll put you on to something that they're doing, and so your network kind of grows and the opportunities for you are greater. And I would definitely say one word of advice, absolutely, because I learned this the hard way. And I know that sometimes with showcases, which is why I don't do as many showcases, I know that we have to be often careful in regards to paying to be seen. And so not getting caught up in that. Definitely taking advantage of showcases because they're so beneficial. But there are so many ways that people, they know that we're hungry and we're thirsty and we yearn for this work. And so people will set up, you know, false, you know, showcases or just opportunities just to take your money. So just be mindful of when you are putting money out there, because really you should never have to pay for somebody to see you.
You gotta just do it because you love it, man, and have fun with it, and then eventually things are gonna happen. I've been doing this for so long, and I feel like I did a feature film 3 weeks ago, you know. So it's like, you know, if I would have stopped like months ago because I wasn't feeling like, oh man, nothing is happening, then I wouldn't have booked that feature film. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So you just keep pursuing it, and surviving in the game is tough. You can't fool anyone. It's hard.
It is hard.
You know. But the love for it will help you to succeed.
Well, thank you guys once again. That wraps up our roundtable discussion. Up next is our Limelight segment.
Our Limelight segment is the portion of the show that brings the acting world's best unforeseen talent to the forefront. Tonight's Limelight artist can be seen in the ongoing off-Broadway production of Black Angels over Tuskegee and the indie film All I Ever Wanted. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Lamar Cheston.
So, what you think? Oh, they don't want it seeming too real. It's scared of customers. Then I'll be out for sure. What, you trying to get me fired? People are funny about their Lincoln stuff, okay? It's historical. People like their historical stuff in a certain way. They want it to unfold the way it folded up, nice and neat, like a book, not raggedy and bloody and screaming, you trying to get me fired. I am a brother playing Lincoln. It's a stretch for anyone's imagination, and it ain't easy for me neither. Every day, I put on that. I leave my own stuff at the door, and I put on that, and I go out there and I make it work. I make it look easy, but it's hard. This is hard, but I make it look easy, and it works because I work it. And you trying to get me fired. I swore off them cards. Took nowhere jobs. Drank, Cookie threw me out. What was I supposed to do? I saw that help wanted sign. I walked up in there. I looked good in that getup, and I agreed to that whiteface. And hey, they really dug it that me and Honest Abe got the same name, huh? It's a sit-down job with benefits. I don't want to get fired. They don't they don't give you a good reference if you get fired.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for this episode of Hashtag Actors Life. I would like to thank my guests, Bobby Ashley, Carmia Berry, Carlos Hendricks, and Lamar Cheston for participating tonight and coming down and chilling with me. You can catch the Av web series on youtube.com/Joe Entertainment TV, or you can just go to youtube.com and enter hashtag the Av series in the search engine. For questions, comments, concerns, or show topics that you would like us to discuss here on the show, feel free to go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/actorslife, or you can go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/actorslife, and leave a comment. That's all for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Join me next time. Have a good night.
All right, Shamira, that's a wrap.
That's it. That was a good rap, too. Yeah. Shamira, that was a good rap.
That was a good one. On the next Hashtag Actors Life, headshot photographer Ron Betron stops by to give us tips on getting shots that'll get you booked. Then we have another wonderful roundtable discussion with two fabulous working actors and another mind-blowing performance from our Limelight artist. Don't miss it.